When Gadhafi seized power 42 years ago, Richard Nixon was president, and it would take the tenure of 6 more presidents before Gadhafi's grip on power would come to an end. It was in February when riots broke out in Benghazi after the arrest of human rights activist Fethi Tabel, who was working to free political prisoners locked up by the Gadhafi regime. Just 1 week later, anti-Gadhafi rebels took control of Misrata. Then, the United Nations Security Council and the European Union imposed sanctions on Gadhafi and his family, including an arms embargo and a ban on travel to Libya. On March 16th, Gadhafi's son Saif al-Islam proudly goes on French television to pronounce, quote, "Everything will be over in 48 hours. The very next day, the UN authorises a no-fly zone and approves the use of all necessary measures to protect civilians. 3 days later, President Obama tells Americans the US will take action.
We struck regime forces approaching Benghazi to save that city and the people within it. We hit Gadhafi's troops in neighboring Ajabia, allowing the opposition to drive them out. We hit Gadhafi's air defenses, which paved the way for a no-fly zone.
Just over a month later, a NATO missile strike kills Gadhafi's youngest son, while key figures in his government continue to defect. In August, with the rebels closing in on Tripoli, Gadhafi calls Libyan state television and is barely audible in telling his followers to liberate the country from his opponents, claiming, quote, "The blood of martyrs is fuel for the battlefield." Days later, rebel forces enter Tripoli with little or no resistance. Since then, it's been a steady combination of NATO airstrikes and a better organised and more determined rebel force, all committed to finding and cornering Gadhafi. And today, finally, their task is complete and Gadhafi is gone. Just an hour ago, I had the opportunity to speak with Ali Ojuli, the Libyan ambassador to the United States, on this historic day for his nation. Ambassador, I imagine this is a poignant and a very profound moment for yourself.
It is, of course. We've been waiting for this moment a very long time, more than 40 years. And it came after heavy casualties, after sacrificing of bloods and lives. But at the end, the people, they win this battle against the dictatorship regime. Yes, it is.
What was your reaction when you saw the former dictator of your nation bloodied, dragged from underground, and eventually observing pictures of him dead?
That's the time I believe that the news I heard an hour or an hour and a half before that it is true news, because this is the reality now in front of my eyes, and I was celebrating with my wife and with my daughter that this is the end of the dictatorship. As you know, the dictatorship end is always a tragedy. Gadhafi chose a bad way for his end. If he, from the beginning, he just gave up and let the people decide what they want, then I can tell you that he will not face what he faced, he and his family now.
So do you understand that he resisted arrest and that's why his life was taken in the way it was?
Yeah, I think this is what he deserved. You know, he is a cruel man. He killed just for the sake of killing. He treated the Libyan people the way as he described them, rats and cockroaches and all these things, you know. And he has no respect for the Libyan people. But these people who describe them as rats, then this is the people who made the future of Libya and take it out from the strong hands of Gaddafi's regime. And the dream of the Libyan people now, they came true. And we are very proud of ourselves. We are proud of our people. We are proud of our friends who helped us, United States, United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Britain, France, Canada, all these countries who helped us, Turkey and many of them, Egypt and Tunisia. And I think that also NATO and United States, they are proud and they are celebrating that they came to rescue and to save the people from the man who has only one language of weapon human and blood, nothing more than that.
You've said this is a great day for Libyan and American relations. Do you acknowledge the role of America in supporting the uprising in your homeland?
I really do. I remember I was interviewed by the Wolf Flitzer for the second time, and he asked me, what do you want to tell the president? And he put the camera in front of my face, and I asked the president, please, Mr. President, help the Libyan people. Don't let Gaddafi kill them. And the Libyan, they do appreciate very much the leadership of the United States and the support of the people, the support of the Capitol Hill, the support of the media, and the support of non-government organizations who've been working with us since this uprising start. Of course, we also evaluate the support of the NATO's countries and, as I mentioned, the other countries. And I'm very happy that to tell the world that Libyan, they did not disappointed you. The Libyan managed to get to put an end for the book of Gaddafi's regime, and they open a new chapter with great dreams for a democratic country, democratic regime. Libyan, they will enjoy for the first time in 42 years to know how to elect their own people. But Libyan, they still need their friends, and they need them badly. We still need them to establish our democratic institution. We need them to help our injuries to be treated. We need them to help us and to help the Libyan to be trained to take care of their countries. We still need their help.
The Transitional National Council is now in control of the entire nation. What assurances can you give your American friends that this nation is not going to be further destabilized, for example, by extremists in the Middle East, or indeed by remnants from the Gadhafi regime? What reassurances can you give us?
Gaddafi's regime is ended completely today. The people who are fighting beside him, they're fighting for their life, is nothing more than that. I resume no threat from the remains of the Libyan regime. We have we have to work very hard for the reconciliation for the Libyan people. And I can assure to you that Libyan will not change the Gaddafi's regime of dictatorship and abuse of human rights and of no freedom with any other regime. The Libyan, they fight for a long time. They sacrifice with their bloods for a new democratic Libya. Libya for every Libyan.
May I ask you a final question? How do you see President Obama's role? He has repeatedly called for Gaddafi to step down. He's provided Libyans with military support. Are you satisfied with the way the president has led on this issue?
We are not only satisfied, we are grateful to him and to administration and to Secretary Clinton and Susan Rice and to everybody who participate and support the help of Libya. We are very grateful to President Obama, of course.
Ambassador, congratulations on reopening your embassy in Washington, and thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks.